about Jaguar, the the classic car, company, the big shot car. Everybody knows about Jaguar, but they're having their own moment of catastrophe when this came about. This is from the Toronto Sun, where they said Bud Light 2.0, Jaguar facing backlash for new nothing ad with gender neutral models and no cars. So you want to see this is the advertisement that they put together. God, it's already looking like a catastrophe. But here is the ad that they put together, and it diminishes the Jaguar brand in the most absurd way possible. And this is, again, just a company realizing the fate of their own catastrophe, and it's not looking good. Watch this. Live vivid. Delete ordinary. Break molds. Okay. One, what the hell did I just watch? And two, what does this have to do with cars? Like, if people didn't know that Jaguar was a car company, and notice how they changed their logo, not only this ad, but they changed the logo too. So they just diminished the entire brand that people associate with for many, 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 many years. If they didn't know that this was a car company, how would they know that they're trying to sell cars? Because when I see an advertisement like this, when I see, let's play this again. We'll cut the volume because I don't want to talk over it. But looking at this advertisement here, this is not relatable to any car whatsoever. This seems like more of advertising like an expo at an art gala. This is something I imagine like the ROM or the Met Gala in New York would be advertising this. Like, no car whatsoever, nothing about why people should buy a Jaguar. And if an individual is just watching this that didn't have any idea of what this company was, how do they know this is a car company? How do they know this is a car company? So this is obviously a big blow to that brand there. So it says the car company debuts with the promotional video with the slogan "Copy Nothing," along with its reimagined logo on its X account on Tuesday. The otherworldly ad featured models in colorful outfits on what appears to be another planet as they pose alongside phrases such as break molds, create exuberant, live vivid, and delete ordinary. Can you imagine if, like, Sam Elliott, who does the voice for Dodge, imagine trying to voice that? Break molds. Great. I can't do the Sam Elliott voice, but you get the picture. What's missing from the 30-second ad is an image or footage of any sort of vehicle. It's merely expressionless models, rocks, and dirt. Exactly. How would people know that this is a car company if you don't show cars? X users were quick to point out Jaguar's wokeness in its attempt to sell cars, with some comparing the campaign to Bud Light and its ensuing downfall after it caused outrage for hiring transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney as a spokesperson. This is so wrong for timing for this, writer John Gabriel commented. I understand the C unit being coned into this in 2022, but you have completely misread the moment. Bud Light 2.0. Red State editor Brandon Moore suggested fire whoever your ad company is. This is not it. While his colleague Bonchi wrote, congratulations on continuing not to sell cars. So PR and marketing firms are blasting this. Meanwhile, PR firm CEO Greg Lucy noted that this is why the right marketing and content team is important. You sell cars. Nothing in this ad tells a potential buyer about the story behind your product. What are the takeaways from this ad? Jaguar took in all stride as many people like Elon Musk asked the obvious question, do you sell cars? The company replied on X, yes, we'd love to show you. Join us for a Coupa in Miami on December 2nd. Warmest regards, Jaguar. According to Jaguar's press release, a new era begins today for the completely transformed brand. Jaguar's transformation is defined by exuberant modernism, a creative philosophy that underpins all aspects of the new Jaguar brand world, the company noted. It embraces bold designs, unexpected and original thinking, creative and brand character that will command attention through fearless creativity. Again, nothing to do with the actual car or product. It boasts that the rebrand recaptures the essence of Jaguar, returning it to its values that once made it so loved, but making it relevant for a contemporary audience. And I added this. So they mentioned about exuberant modernism, which I relate to, and I forget the actual guy who wrote this, but there's an op-ed piece about modernity, about how, creativity is kind of been transformed into kind of this elaborate takeover of like the CIA and the FBI, just kind of exorbitant, just this kind of bland globalist technocratic society instead of actual creativity. And they related to things like modern art. They related to songs, like the music scene. But one of the biggest things they mention is about architecture. And when you look at modern architecture compared to, like, if you go to like the Vatican, for example, you go to the Vatican, you go to, Paris, you go to Scotland and see all the castles there. You go to even the older buildings in Toronto, for example. And you see the level of architecture, the level of nuance, the level of design and creative passion you see portrayed in the construction building process. Compare that to the newest skyscrapers that are building these days, where it pretty much resembles a very tall fish tank. Is the best you could say about it. It's a very tall fish tank with cubicles and fluorescent lighting. And they have done studies on this. They've done studies on this in relation to that op-ed piece, which I wish I had in correlation to this. In that op-ed piece, they talk about how there are studies that this modernization of things like architecture is diminishing people's ability to be not only creatively passionate and exuberant, but has also dealt with a lot of, people that are now experiencing depression. It's caused a lot of mental strain. And it makes sense. It does kind of make sense because you're trapped inside a glass box in a cubicle that's kind of just expressionless. You don't see the design. You don't see the creative influxes. When you go to like an art gallery or you go to, a festival where you see people, doing all these designs, you get curious, you inquire things, you look at it and go, wow, how did this guy do it? I want to learn more about this. Whereas, just modern skyscrapers, it's just bland. It's just bland. You're just basically trapped in a glass box with multiple floors. There's no real expression. There's no curiosity. There's no value to it. And that's mostly because of the capture of the corporate world decimating against true creative passions. So it's that kind of basically kind of relates to this advertisement here that you have, because of, the woke agenda, because of BlackRock, because of just this kind of global force of pressuring companies to just be not just throwing their initial brand under the bus, the loyalty of Jaguar, the loyalty of, the actual car and the manufacturing of the car. Again, that advertisement, there was not a mention that it was a car company. Not a single mention. And they tried to diminish that brand to just bring this kind of postmodern, expressionless material that is just undervalues everything that this company stood for. And you have people that are looking at this that know about Jaguar, they know about this company, they know about their reputation, just completely quashed away. Completely quashed away. And if I was to show this to someone that didn't know about Jaguar, how am I going to convince them that it's a car company? So that's why I bring this up in relation to modern, the exuberant modernism, as it says there, because this is what art has become, folks. This is kind of what art has become, folks. And this became recently. So how a viral duct tape banana came to be worth $6.2 million. That's right. That an artist did. And we've seen, countless artworks. You go to museums, you see the artworks of Da Vinci and Picasso and all these great artists that put the time and energy and the effort and the passion. It's just all being squashed away by this kind of just this creativeless just force that diminishes the intentions of true creative passion. And now you have duct tape bananas onto a canvas and being sold as art. And that is because we have commercials like this that just diminishes the entire entity, the brand, the creative passions that Jaguar for years as a business, as a car business, has elaborated to its customers, just completely wiped away from this. Sorry. From this commercial. It's just completely empty. It's just completely meaningless. You have vague slogans with a bunch of models, gender neutral models, that it's not selling anything. It's not getting your passion. You're just looking at this and it's just absolutely just empty. Like, what is this trying to sell? What is this trying to sell? Is this going to convince you to get and do something? So that, my friends, is a marketing flop, as many different PR firms has even pointed out, including Elon Musk. Do you even sell cars? And it's because we continue on stuff like this and just diminishes the whole prospect of true intentions of art and form and creativity and passion and intellectualism. Just completely diminishes that to just pinpoint on just kind of this like manufactured, if you will, this manufactured kind of art. And if you look at, there's been op-ed pieces about how contemporary art has been taken over by intelligence agencies, how it's been corporatized, how we no longer have that creative passion anymore. They kind of dialed it down to be this kind of expressionist, and then trying to build it up as saying, no, this is what expression is. This is what creativity is. They put duct tape on a banana. And then you sell it for $6.2 million. And the reason it's sold that high is, again, just inflating the fact that they want to convince you this is true art form, as compared to, looking back in the day of oil paintings, or going back to sculptures that took hours, that took patience, that took a kind of agility and kind of temperament that a lot of people don't have, and that's why there's many artists that have that craft, that have that ability, and are able to create the masterpieces that they did. And nowadays, it just seems like so vague, so empty, to the fact that there's no craft anymore. There's no passion. There's no real stance on a creative vision because it's been corporatized because of just how vacant it's become by the corporatized takeover, by the intelligence agencies, and just by stuff like this. So that's what Jaguar has become. Jaguar has become the duct tape banana, and they want to tell you that's art. The same way they want to tell that commercial it's selling cars.